What's up, everybody? This is Lassi. We're here at the Kickback Show on Dash Radio.
And we're back. It's your boy, the DJ TJ. It's the Kickback Show at Dash Radio, Hollywood, California. We got Lassi in the building.
Yo, yo.
What's up, Lassi?
How we doing?
Good, man. Loud and clear. We are back.
Let's do this.
So I was saying, last time I saw you was like right when I moved to LA.
Yes, sir.
We were kicking it like backstage at what were you saying, like a Grand Theft show?
Grand Theft show. I think our boys Toro over there.
Right, Toro.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was more homies
Yeah,
there.
it was a late night for me.
Right. After parties, the works. And now here we are years later coming back together again.
I love it.
And at the time, you were working at Red Bull.
Yep. I spent quite a long journey with Red Bull, about 9 years.
I was going to ask. You were with Red Bull for a long time.
Long time. I went through many different roles, mostly working in artist marketing, music marketing, and all kinds of stuff. It was a good run.
So with Red Bull, artist marketing and music marketing, what kind of stuff is that? Like, what kind of stuff were you doing?
Yeah, I mean, interesting thing about Red Bull is that it's obviously a major brand. Does a ton of stuff when it comes to like sports and athletes and all that. But I think the beautiful thing is over the years, Red Bull built a ton of credibility as a music brand, which is hard to do for a big corporation, you know? So I really focused on building relationships with artists, finding ways to help artists grow, and same thing we would do. Same thing Red Bull would do with an athlete, right? Like help athletes achieve that gold medal. What can Red Bull do to help artists achieve the next thing?
Oh,
yeah.
So that must have been pretty fun. It sounds like the dream job for a lot of people.
It was good, man. That's why I was there so long.
9 years. I can only imagine. I'm sure you experienced some pretty cool stuff.
I mean, I think there's so many cool highlights from, all the festivals, all the owned events we did. Red Bull is responsible for building Skrillex's Mothership tour.
Wow.
All like so many things across so many different platforms. And I think that was why I stayed so long and why I still consider it, part of who I am and and like it is family to me.
Right. Was it hard to leave?
So hard.
Dang.
But I had to go.
Right. What are you doing now?
I'm at Spotify now. So I've just hit my year a couple days ago.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's been a wild ride, been really amazing. Obviously, I think people know Spotify and some of these DSPs, are really how people are consuming music now.
Explain DSPs for those who don't.
Yeah, digital service providers. So basically the Apple Musics, the SoundClouds.
Right.
And I think it's really cool to be part of that, knowing that there's just millions of people and millions of artists too that are consuming music through the airwaves of your computer.
You can like do a membership now, and you can pick iTunes. There's a lot of, they're all kind of like streaming platforms.
Totally.
I chose Spotify.
I like you.
Right.
That's because I like you.
I'm not playing favorites, but actually my business partner, Sean, constantly like, you got to just get the paid Spotify, quit bullshitting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, man, I had it. And he's like, but new music Fridays. And I can't send you albums because you don't have it and this and that. Finally, I downloaded it probably last year.
Amazing. No, it's funny because I've been paying for Spotify. Well, until I worked for them for like 5 years.
Right.
It was like my everything.
So now you get the free version, like job perks, right?
Well, now I get it. But even when I started, I was like, I would still pay for this because that's how much I believe in the product.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the best $10 I would spend.
Hands down. The only downside I find, as a DJ's perspective, is not being able to export the MP3s.
No, of course. I mean,
that kills me.
That's the dream.
But I find these great songs on there
every week.
And then I'll just go source it somewhere else.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's how I find music.
Add it to my playlist and then move on.
Remember I was telling you that I'll discover a song and then go show my friends and then they're like, yo, that's like 3 years old.
Right.
Well, that's me discovering music on Spotify because it's just endless.
Right.
And I think
Goes
it's just forever.
I like how the algorithms work too. Like they'll be like your daily playlist.
Yeah.
Which is, because I'm still fairly new to the Spotify thing.
Yeah.
And it would curate music that I was like, man, how do they even know I'm into this?
It's crazy.
And I hadn't even already done any searches or anything. I was like, this mix is sick right off the bat. It was like a lo-fi mix of just beats to steady to or something, And it was like the first curated your daily mix. And I started listening to more hip hop, and they started throwing me artists that were like hip hop. And I was like, damn, these mixes are I'm picking tracks out of those and putting them in my playlist and stuff like that.
Did you do the time capsule by chance?
No, what's that?
So it's an app or an algorithm within Spotify, and it builds a time capsule. So a playlist of what you would listen to back, say when you were in high school.
Okay.
And it gives you like 50 songs or something. And like mine nailed it. I don't know how it did it, but every single song in this playlist was like,
I'm on it.
This is what I listened to.
Right.
And obviously I saved
How did you even know I liked this song?
It was actually kind of embarrassing.
Right.
Like, it was like things I wouldn't admit.
Low key, this was my jam.
So one of the songs, and I don't know why I told myself I wouldn't admit this to anyone, was the Mulan theme song.
Really?
From the Disney movie.
Okay.
And then it was all like Under Oath and Blink-182 and then like some random Wu-Tang song thrown in.
Of course.
But then obviously the Mulan theme song.
Everybody's like, really, Lassi?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, man. But hey, I'll own it.
Right. And it popped up in the time capsule, huh?
Yeah, it's there.
So there's all kinds of music on there.
Everything.
I mean, obviously,
everything.
Because I hate it when someone sends me an iTunes playlist. I'm a Spotify person now. I guess I can say that because that's my one subscription music-wise. But and it's hard because it's like, okay, iTunes. There's some people that are actually on iTunes.
Yeah.
But I like the features that Spotify has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I think each platform is everyone has their own preference, right? And what's great about Spotify is if you're someone that's interested in discovering music, that's where you go. It's like the endless rabbit hole of discovery.
And that's my favorite part about it.
But you can also
the new Music Friday thing, like albums are just dropping every Friday. And I'm like, oh, dope. I get to listen and I look forward to Fridays now.
You can also, though, still be a casual music listener and benefit from it with like the top 40 playlists and US Viral and all these things. So you don't have to be this like super heady, like music nerd like me to really take advantage of it. It's really for everyone.
Right, totally. And not only that, like, it kind of has like, because I came from Pandora, like the free version of Pandora. I still get like commercials from Portland. I think Pandora still thinks I'm in Portland for some reason. Like Beaverton Honda, and I'm like, yeah, no.
It's like my fiance. She's still on Pandora. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. I like the
you listen to the
version.
same 4 songs over and over again.
But the cool thing about Pandora was like I would always discover new stuff because it would just feed me like a new track here or a new track there. But now Spotify just like own that, and I'm like, damn.
That's fair.
So what is your position at Spotify?
Yeah, so I work on the global team doing mostly experiential marketing with artists.
Right.
What that means is when artists are releasing music, when they're on release cycle, and it's an artist we're kind of marketing or rallying around, I work with those artists and their teams to create live experiences around the release and various markets.
Okay.
But also like the content that comes out of it, the PR, the social, all things basically trying to take the online world into the offline.
Got it.
And it's just cool because it's not your cookie cutter events and content pieces. It's
Right.
really like getting under the skin of artists. And I think that's the beauty is like, it's that creative director vibe mixed with events and content and all things above. And I think the cool thing, even more so about Spotify, is that you're going to see the company grow, not just from the algorithms and the online platform, but you're going to see a ton of stuff coming up in the offline. And then how we turn that into content is going to be a major thing over the next few years.
Yeah, like I have a lot of questions. I'm not sure if you have some insight on this stuff, but I definitely want to kind of dig into some of this stuff. Like,
can't give all my secrets.
You're getting behind artists.
Yeah.
How do you guys select these artists that you're getting behind and doing these like activations for?
I can't speak a ton to that because it's not always my role to select those artists. Is
there like a selection process?
We have different teams that manage different label accounts and relationships.
Right.
And just like any business, there's business planning processes and working with labels and artist teams on what music is coming and figuring out how best to support artists across, all genres, all sizes, not just your biggest A-list artists, but how do we find ways to support smaller level artists too? And I think it's just a balance. Spotify wants to support all artists. We want it to be a place where even if you're an independent artist with no access to big record deals and stuff like that, that you still have tools on platform to help you grow your music.
Right. And I see that Spotify is like getting behind like independent artists.
Yep.
And and making kind of like a movement towards that, and even sponsoring artists. Are you familiar with some of this stuff?
Sponsoring, not so much, but I think the one of my favorite things, and it's what I really leverage as an artist myself, is Spotify for Artists, which is like the back end of the platform, where they've really started building out ways that me as an artist, I can go pitch my music to the editors to get playlisted. I can check what markets people are listening to my music in, so I could plan a tour around like, okay, so there's a lot of people in Tokyo and some of the Asian countries listening to my music. Maybe I should think about doing shows there or wherever. So I think the growth of the back end for independent artists is incredible, and I've seen so many amazing artists bubble up because of that, and just leveraging those tools. And you'll see that continue to grow. Spotify just launched, you've probably seen in the news, Spotify Direct, which is where artists can upload their music directly.
I wanted to get into that, actually.
Without distributors, without record labels. And
that's huge.
It's huge, yeah.
And it really kind of like differentiates you guys from other streaming platforms.
Yeah,
like, because I don't think iTunes is doing that. Like really supporting independent artists to give them a platform to really embrace and like launch their own music without having to go through labels and different like, engines.
And obviously you can get your music on platforms through things like CD Baby or TuneCore, but this is like to even cut that out. It's like if you want to leverage Spotify and what Spotify has to offer and maximize what you get out of it, the opportunity is there. And that's what's really exciting.
That is exciting.
They're just trying to find more ways to support artists.
Right. And how is Spotify working directly with the artists going to change the music industry, do you think?
Oh man, that's a big question.
Right. And I feel like it's already happening, like with the stuff we're talking about right now.
Totally. I think that's it. You know, it's an interesting balance between obviously a tech company and a music company, and being able to leverage the amazing people behind making the technology what it is. And then also people within the marketing organization that can also really like use their skills and their creativity to find new ways and unique ways to tell stories for artists. It's all about storytelling. And I think you put all these minds together, and that's really when it becomes something unlike any other organization. And that's the beauty of it. A lot of people at Spotify are either musicians or come from some sort of background in working in music and just understanding like the needs of an artist and becoming so artist focused and also so fan focused, and making sure that like we're putting our lenses on to best do what we can for artists and fans.
How does the playlisting work? Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the biggest question. All the DMs that slide into my Instagram.
I'm sure you probably get it every day. How do I get on a playlist? I'm sure you were expecting that at some point on this show, right?
I was waiting for it.
So how much does it take to get on a playlist, Lassi?
Well, I just opened a Swiss bank account. So
and it's a Cash App me.
Yeah, exactly. No, so it's interesting. There are editors. Obviously, I think a lot of people are familiar with who some of these people are, and they focus on various genres and playlists, and their job is to really curate, you know, the right playlists for the right people in various scenarios. And, you know, getting on that, I think, is a mystery and has been a mystery, and Spotify is working on ways to demystify that. And that's with like on the back end, like I was saying, you can now pitch songs to real people that are actually going to listen, which is super exciting because it never existed
on the back end. To tap into that a little bit with the artist platform. Now, so does the artist have access to all the analytics and like insights of like their regions and like where their demographics coming from and everything? So you can really embrace yourself as an artist and really kind of get after the certain...
People are building tour schedules around like where people are actually listening for the first time ever, because these people don't have ticket sales. These artists don't have ticket sales. It's like back in the day, it was all about data of like your Ticketmaster sales or your Tickets West sales, and that you don't need that.
And you're guessing. You'd go to a city and do a sellout show, then the next city would be like 10 people or something.
100%. So
and I've been on tours like that. I'm like, damn, bro, we just did a festival yesterday, and now we're doing a show for 60 people in the back of a restaurant. Like, what is this?
Yeah, totally. We've all been there,
right?
Like, and now like we're watching artists actually leverage these tools and find the markets where people are consuming the music.
That's huge,
and I think that's amazing.
That's really exciting, actually.
But yeah, going back to the playlist thing, I think. Trying to demystify that a bit. It's still, there's so much music out there. And it's just really about, I think, timing and just also like working your craft so that it's yours and not trying to do something because this person got playlist or that.
Right.
People are listening. Everyone's listening. So I think knowing that it has been this big mystery for a long time. Right.
Still kind of is.
Still kind of is, but it's less of a mystery.
Right.
And artists, especially independent artists, have the access now more than ever and will continue to get better and better and better.
That's really cool because I feel like that's really just separating from most streaming services, Spotify embracing that.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's also pulling the artist to Spotify to really want to publish their stuff on that platform versus like iTunes or some of the other platforms that are available for people to do that kind of stuff. And that insight is huge, you know?
Like I said, I'm an artist myself, an independent artist, and most of this knowledge I have, you'd think a lot of it comes from being on the inside, when really a lot of it is just me being engaged with the offerings that Spotify has. And any playlists I've gotten, anything I've done on platform has all been like from me writing music, one that I love and that hopefully other people like, and then just finding like the right place for it.
Right. And with those analytics on Spotify, that helps.
Exactly. And it's really been like me doing my own research and understanding how best to utilize Spotify for my growth as an artist as well.
Right.
And that's been really special as an independent artist.
So as an independent artist, what kind of advice would you give to another independent artist on like, hey, this is a great platform. If you want to succeed, whatever your genre is, what kind of advice would you give to someone like that?
I would say take advantage of, one, the analytics, do some digging, look in the back end. There's a lot more in there than you might realize. There's some really cool videos that Spotify just released, and they go through, they're different, like it's kind of a web series of how to use the platform as an artist.
Yeah, totally.
So that's super cool, and it's like real testimonial from people on the inside and from artists. So,
okay. And Spotify released those.
Yeah. So Spotify for artists. So check that out. It's called The Game Plan, and it's just really cool because I think it will open your eyes as an artist to the fact that people on the inside and other artists, they get it. Like once you get it, like the team's there to like make it
work,
user friendly and functional for you as an artist, and it's just gonna get better and better.
Right, and because you're an independent artist, you were originally a DJ.
Yeah,
I still are, obviously.
Kinda.
And now you have a duo.
Yeah.
Right, and what's that called?
So it's a new project called Ari. Okay. My friend Alex and I, we've been making music together for a long time. And last year we kind of went through this transition phase where I think we knew like our solo projects it was just like time to try something different. We've always made really dark music because it's just like easy to make dark, sad music, you know? And
I mean, that's a Portland thing. Are you originally from Portland?
Yeah.
See, I think it's like comes like second nature.
Yeah,
I tried to steer away from it myself. I'm like, man, just my melodies are just so dark.
So dark, yeah. So I was sitting at
the rain.
I was sitting at FYF last year,
which is
RIP. It's a festival in LA.
Okay. For those who don't know.
Yeah, and obviously a few beers in, and I was like, I had this idea. I was like, let's make happy music.
Right.
You know, it's like the sun was shining.
It was
a
good vibe.
Yeah. So we just like let's challenge ourselves to make music that we love, because I love pop music.
Right. You want to be able to hear your own stuff, right?
Alex likes pop music, and we love dance music, but we're like trying to figure out like who we are in that sense. So
right, because you've sent me records in the past, and they were all kind of a little bit different,
totally,
but also very experimental. That's one thing I liked about you as a musician, is you would always send me a record that was different than anything I've heard.
Yeah. And I think what you're going to start hearing with a lot of this Ari stuff is it's unique, but still really accessible.
Right.
Pop leaning, but not super like mainstream. And yeah, so we've had a couple official remixes for Galantis,
Nice.
Icona Pop, and Sweater Beats.
Congratulations, that's
Thank you.
huge.
Yeah, so picking up some steam. We launched our first single came out in December, so not too long ago. We did a record a few months ago called Months, with Frank Music, which premiered on Anna Luno's Beats One show.
Wow.
That's probably our baby. That's our track that like has done really well, and it was like really speaks to like what the project is.
Okay.
So we did a couple more tracks with Frank Music, a new one that I just sent you. It's definitely pop leaning, like almost like a little cheese to it, but like still very much like meaningful. And I think the idea behind this whole project was like Alex and I were like the kind of oddball kids. I was a punk rock kid. I got bullied growing up, but I grew out of this like phase of caring so much,
Right.
And I think the idea is
that comes with like maturity.
For sure. And I think the idea was that this project, and you'll see there's like a little character. Ari is like this little character, not necessarily a guy, not necessarily a girl. He's just like this rainbow blob that has like a rainbow teardrop.
I've seen this actually. I think I saw this on your social media a while back. Okay.
So that's the character. And the idea is that is like, he's clearly imperfect.
Right.
But like charming at the same time.
Right.
And
you can't help but love the imperfectness about it.
Exactly. So that's where the idea of this project came from, is just making music for everybody,
Dope. Well, you sent me this record, which is unreleased, right?
Yeah, it comes out October 12th.
October 12th, and this is Ari, and the song is called Stay. Let's get into it. That's a world premiere right there. Lassi!
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Damn, bro. I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
and I've heard a lot of your music over the years, but when you're talking about bringing that happy vibe, you brought it.
Yeah, totally. That's the goal, man.
Great job. I'm really impressed.
Thank you. It's been a challenge, digging into that other side. I think as darker music. I was a punk rock kid. It came so much more naturally to me.
Do you mind me asking?
65.
Okay, so you grew up in the grunge era too. So I totally feel you.
Yeah.
No, I get it, because it's like I think that I'm a little bit older myself. I'm 67.
Yeah.
And I went through that era, before I even got into hip hop and everything else, So there was like that grunge, like punk rock vibe. Yeah. And then, my music taste didn't stay too narrow. I kind of expanded and branched out into a lot of different stuff.
Totally, same.
And you were saying that you guys did a couple official remixes for Galantis, which happens to be my son's favorite group.
I love it.
Hands down.
I also love watching you and your son on Instagram.
Right. Thanks,
it's just the cutest thing in the world.
I need to feature him more.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's going to get some more cameos soon. As soon as he starts acting better in school, I'll get that cameo. I'll tag him in something. But yeah, man, wait till I show him this.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new hit right there.
Amazing.
That's cool, man. Awesome. So do you guys have plans so that's going to come out on October 12th.
Yep.
Super excited for that. Thank you for premiering that here on the show.
Of course.
Air horn.
Thanks for letting me premiere it.
That's dope. And so can we expect more sounds like that from you?
Totally. I think the cool thing is every song has been a bit different, but still Ari, and you can tell it's Ari. There's like these like mallets and these certain sounds that we created that are simple but unique.
So are you creating your own samples?
Yeah, well, our own sounds and everything. Yeah.
Dope.
So yeah, you can expect a lot more. There's a ton of stuff we're working on.
Can we expect like an Ari mascot soon or something?
You can expect a lot.
That'd be tight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You heard it here first on the Kickback Show.
You sure did.
No, I'm excited, bro. That's great. That's a great record, and like I see the direction going like in a good direction for you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that.
So, I mean, obviously you're going to be utilizing Spotify to the fullest.
I mean, I got to.
Right, as an independent artist.
That's what I do, man. I think you've seen me over the years. I'm kind of a marketer in myself. Like,
right.
I love sharing things with the world and telling stories. Whether that's through social media or through Spotify or whatever other platform. I definitely plan to leverage, all the resources like Instagram and SoundCloud and Spotify that I know and love. And, there's different audiences on all platforms. So you got to, as an artist, you got to embrace everything, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You got to be a graphic designer, a producer. You know the story.
Totally.
And whoever can do it all is the best at the best.
Got my hands in as many baskets as I can.
All we need is more time. That's like the struggle for me. Like, damn,
I'm working on that technology.
Energy. Right. Yeah. Let me know when you master that.
I got you.
God, I need that more time plug-in. Really cool, man. That's really cool. So, new music on the way. What else you got going on? I mean, it seems like since I last talked to you, it's been so long, and I feel like you went from Red Bull to Spotify. Now I see you traveling a lot and doing a bunch of cool stuff. So I was just talking about how I saw you with Jungle. Yeah. Which is a group that I Shazammed and found at IHOP weeks ago. And then the next day I saw you on Instagram with them. I was like, no way. It's like my favorite band right now. I was like, what are the chances?
Dude, their new record is insane.
What's that called again? It's
I have it.
After you both reached for it.
I have it right here. Oh, it's Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
The number 4 ever.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I got to work on a project with them at Spotify, and they're super great.
It's like a big band, though. Isn't it like 14 people or something?
There's like 8 people in the live show.
Wow.
And it's just, the live show is what it's all about.
I can only imagine. They sound great. The records sound great. I can only imagine.
It's just a dance party, crazy lights, and like full band. And really, really cool band. And
so were you doing an activation with them, or?
Yeah, so they released the new record. And I went out to London for a day to just like help do their show, and they have, if you've seen the music video for Happy Man, there's like the car and stuff. So we brought the car into the venue.
It's like almost like on a set, and they just staged a bunch of cool shit. And everybody's jamming.
So we kind of recreated that in a venue, and it was super cool.
Oh, sick!
Got to see the car and do the whole thing. And I mean, I've been a fan of that band for a while, but now to like hear this new record and then see them play it, and it's just cool, man. It's really cool.
Congrats, man. That's really cool. So Spotify is like flying you all over to do this kind of stuff?
It's part of the job.
Right. Damn, job perks. I love it. So what else can we expect from you in the future? Work-wise, music-wise?
I'm managing a couple artists on top of the million other things I'm doing. Okay. So I've got this band called The Flavor of Blue in Seattle. Okay. They were on a tour with Macklemore recently. We just released a full length. Actually, we just re-released the full length in Korea, which is where Jay Park's from. I don't know if you know the artist Jay Park. He's featured on the album. We released something on his record label, which is really cool. I manage another girl named Molly Tarlow. She does incredible artist visuals, and so we're doing a ton of different artists right now.
Cool. Artist management, man, that's awesome.
I've kind of just got my hands all over. I'm consulting.
Do you ever sleep?
Dude, it's funny because like during the week I try to get to bed at like 9 o'clock, and then and I usually do, especially if the missus is in town.
Eat and pass out.
Yeah, popcorn, Netflix, and pass out.
Aren't you like a, what do they call it, the wine expert?
Sommelier.
Sommelier, that's right.
I claim it.
Right. Like the first, what's the claim to fame on that one?
My claim is the first DJ producer to become a sommelier.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm not really a sommelier, but
sommelier.
But
I sommelier.
But I collect. I'm not really a sommelier, but I collect wine and I love wine. I'm studying it a bit. It's so impressive what sommeliers can do. I don't think I could ever get that good.
Right.
But it is something I'm like really passionate about.
But you could smell a wine and tell if it's a Cab or a Merlot.
Yes.
I couldn't.
Yeah. At least on the red side for sure.
Okay. Are you more of a red or a white?
I'm more of a red.
Got it. Same.
I'm talking about starting a wine label. Trying to just trying to do all the passions.
We're gonna have to get you a crown.
Yeah.
The man. Man of the year right here.
I've got 2 cats. My cats are like my best friends.
What's their names?
Shabu is the guy.
Okay.
It's like Shabu.
Shout out to Shabu.
And Lily is the girl, and she's like, I just got her tattooed.
Whoa! Look at that.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Can we get a zoom in on Lily?
I got to get some touch up work on it, but she's cross-eyed too, so we made her looking up at this rocket ship.
Do you have a tattoo of Shabu?
Not yet.
Oh, about to say, damn, just left him hanging. He's looking at you like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's a little upset. He's next. It was a big session to do it.
Right.
Do it all.
But you're gonna get both cats on there at some point.
Oh yeah, eventually.
So
yeah.
So you're a cat guy.
I'm a cat guy. It's weird. I know.
I can see all the ladies watching the episode right now. Oh, Lassi, follow.
I like dogs too. I travel so much that
Cats, you can leave them for like months on end.
Yeah,
and
and
take care of
it's
themselves.
easier to take care of them. Like I even have a cat sitter come. And
Right.
it's
Cat sitter?
As silly as that is.
Right.
Dude, my cats are needy, man.
You take them for walks.
Oh, yeah.
They need to be groomed.
No, my missus always tries
A
to
little bit of wine with dinner.
try to convince me to get like harnesses and leashes for the cats. I'm like, you're crazy.
I've seen those.
Yeah, I have two, and it's weird.
I was at, what was it? Not Echo, Silver Lake Park. There's like a little lake.
Yeah.
There's one lady was walking a cat. Another person was
Was
walking.
the cat
like,
actually walking, or was she like
just
dragging
on a
the
leash
cat?
like a dog?
No
I think
way.
the cat was walking the human. You know,
Probably if you're crazy enough to put
one
your
person
cat
was like
on a
selling
leash.
weed plants, like just starts like right there. I was like, damn, I love LA.
Dude, LA is a trip, man. I've been here 7 years, and
Wow.
it's crazy. Like it feels like home for sure.
Yeah.
But 7 years went by like that.
Oh,
like
same,
so
bro. I mean, I've been here
fast.
like 4 or 5, and I feel like I just got here. Like
Yeah.
I just saw you at that event, which
know.
wasn't that long ago,
Yeah.
and so much has happened since then. But
Yeah.
it's also been a stretch, you know.
Yeah, totally.
I watched my kid grow from an infant to a kindergartner.
A human,
Right.
Like a real
Little
human.
dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man.
Dude, thanks so much for having me. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. I'm excited for all your upcoming accomplishments, the music releases, the
Thanks,
wine, the Spotify gigs, the traveling.
Once I get this wine label off the ground, I'll send you guys some bottles.
Please do. Come and bring us a bottle. We'll drink
Yeah.
that on the show. We'll
I
just
love
make
it.
sure that they're not watching
Cover
on
the
the cameras. Right. You guys didn't see that. We'll put them in plastic cups. You know,
Yeah, there
real
you
classy
go.
around here.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's it. This is the Kickback Show. It's your boy, the DJ TJ. Shout out to Lassi. Make sure you go download the, is it an EP or the single that's coming out on the 12th?
It's the single. It's going to be a 2-part series, so the next track will come out a few weeks after.
All right, and that's Ari. That's ARI, and the song is called Stay. And shout out to ASW up there in Portland. He's still in Portland, right?
He actually moved down.
Oh, he's in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, big things popping, little things stopping. All right, Dash Radio. It's your boy, the DJ TJ, Hollywood, California. Thanks for tuning in. We out here.